Hey, boys and girls. It's time for Uncle Jay Explains the News. Now here's the guy who helps little minds understand big news stories, Uncle Jay.
Hi, boys and girls. Well, quick, before we start, it's time for our very first Uncle Jay News Alert. Once again, a batch of toys from China has to go back to the store because they're dangerous. Sorry if one of them's yours. They are scrambling in China to replace them as fast as they can, but let's hope that they don't hurry too much, or they might mix things up some other way. We don't need another bad surprise when we're playing with our toys. Let's cross our fingers. Okay, now it's time for Uncle Jay's news word, which is 2 words this week. Structurally deficient. What a mess. It's kind of what it means, a mess that needs to be fixed or cleaned up. We've been hearing the phrase since last week's terrible bridge collapse in Minneapolis. It's a phrase that was invented by a federal agency. You can kind of tell 7 syllables, 21 letters, when 2 syllables and 5 letters would have done the job. And in fact, if somebody had said it this way, maybe somebody else would have paid more attention. And the stock market, and the housing market, and the loan industry, they're all federally regulated, boys and girls, and they're all kind of structurally deficient. They're all wobbling like Lindsay Lohan on a breathalyzer. And you might start to think that the federal government always does a lousy job. But to be fair, sometimes the federal government does no job at all. Like Congress last week, when half the House walked out on a vote, followed by a computer glitch where nobody voted at all, followed by a month's vacation. Okay, now we should look on the bright side, because there were a lot of things in the news that were not. Like the NASA Mars launch. It went very smoothly. No attempted murders or DUIs. And there were some other science projects that turned out very successfully. Always do your science homework, boys and girls. It can pay off in some wonderful ways. Okay, boys and girls, it's time to answer one of your news questions. This week it comes from Julie in New York. Hi, Julie. Julie writes, Dear Uncle Jay, I saw on the news that a Russian submarine planted a flag underwater at the North Pole. Why would they do something like that? Thanks, Julie. Well, that was kind of a media event that was put on by Russian President Vladimir Putin. He wants to declare that all of the valuable oil and natural gas up there belongs to Russia. Of course, Mr. Putin might not realize that being in charge of the North Pole could take up a whole lot more of his time than he ever thought about. And besides, he's making it more clear all the time that there's another old man he's trying to be more like, and that's going to take up more of his time. Well, boys and girls, send your news questions to Uncle Jay at UncleJayExplains.com. I'll see you next Monday when Uncle Jay explains the news. And remember, a good kid is good news.